Welcome back to Ash's Reality Recap. This is The Curse of Oak Island, episode 21, straight as an arrow, full of mystery, intrigue. Yeah, no, not really any of that. It's full of baseless, assumptions, wild theories, and absolutely zero proof that anything beyond, what we already know happened on the island was on the island, which was the military was there at some point. But anyhow, Curse of Oak Island, episode 21, straight as an arrow. Let's jump into this. First and foremost, over in the swamp, the most exciting thing that happened in this episode was they found a hole with some rocks in the bottom that matched up to the stone road underneath of the swamp, which, again, is no surprise. They find us pretty much every episode at this point that there's something under the swamp that proves that the swamp was man-made. Shocker. And over at the money pit, this is the garden shaft, because if you remember last week, Doom was contracting the horizontal drilling into this supposed flood tunnel that flooded the garden shaft, which is now just letting them suspect and exclaim and state that, oh my god, we got to be close to the treasure. Well, it's an island in the middle of water, so any water that you hit underground is going to flood a tunnel, because every tunnel under there is flooded, if you don't remember that. Let's move on. Okay, this is a long, far stretch. But why is the episode called Straight as an Arrow? Well, pictured here is supposedly a crossbow bolt tip. Now, how do we tie this into Oak Island? Well, supposedly an individual by the name of Paul Ricklowski, who was friends with Dan Blankenship, did some work on the island for Dan Blankenship and found this crossbow bolt in the mid-60s. It's been out of sight, out of mind ever since then. The team has worked for months and months and months trying to talk to Eric Ricklowski, which is Paul's son, to see the supposed crossbow bolt tip. Why this is such a big deal, I really have no idea. It's just another random artifact that may have been found on the island. There's truly no record that it actually came from the island. But hey, it's in the episode and it's straight as an arrow, so it's got to be Wikipedia proof, right? Let's move on. And last but not least, what does the Oak Island team do when there's nothing left to do on Oak Island? Well, they sit around the big table and decide to take another trip to Europe to speculate on how the Templars are tied to Oak Island. Yes, this happens damn near every season at this point, where we run out of stuff to do on the island because we found all the wood we can find and we've dug all the pits we could dig and we found all the rocks at the bottom of those pits to, hey, let's go to Europe and see if we can find some symbols that tie into Oak Island, which kind of look like they may have at one point or another been made by somebody that could have possibly been to Oak Island and put treasure in the hole, and now multiple places in the hole on Oak Island. And yeah, that's just pretty much how the show goes. It doesn't really make a lot of sense at this point. We're really just running around chasing our tail. But that is episode 21, Curse of Oak Island, straight as an arrow recap. See you next week.